TVS Nightline 17th October, here are our headlines. At least 3 killed from Russian kamikaze drone attack in central Kyiv. PDRM Sarawak establishes special task force to combat fake news. And a better election system is critically needed. With me, Muhammad Yusuf. Let us begin. The Election Commission (EC) have been urged to look into digitalizing the casting of the votes, as well as setting up of more forward-looking alternatives for electors to cast their votes. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, pointed out that flight tickets are costly and the EC is not making it easy for voters to return to their home states and exercise their rights.
Karim questioned why postal voting options weren't offered to those residing outside their own states.
Kenapa dia lebih percaya kalau undi daripada pelajar-pelajar ataupun Malaysians who are overseas, they can vote postal. Kalau they belum sampai ke tahap boleh mengundi secara digital, let Sarawakian, Sabahan or even West Malaysian who are down here to vote by way of postal untuk mengundi di Semenanjung, untuk mengundi sini. You just need to register. But I would want to see more advanced than that. We trust our system. Online banking kita percaya. We allow people to do transfer money. Why can't you create a system whereby you can mengundi, vote online now? You have to trust the system. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. SPR jangan tidur lah. Have to look, keep on looking forward. Then we will create a better election system.
The minister, who is also the Parti Pesaka Bumiputera Bersatu PBB Vice President, said this in response to a question by the media on the government's consideration to provide subsidies for returning Sarawakian students from Peninsular Malaysia. Earlier on October 15th, Premier of Sarawak Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, during the Sarawak Agenda Session Town Hall with Premier of Sarawak at the Lan Berambeh Anak Sarawak LBAS program, announced that the Sarawak government will take into consideration to providing subsidies to Sarawakian students who wish to come back to vote at the 15th General Election or GE15. However, the matter is set to be discussed further with other leaders. He reiterated that the subsidies are not meant to fish for votes.
I can understand SPR ataupun Election Commission, our Right Honourable Premier, all of us would love to see those of eligible age able to vote, Tengoklah bagaimana kalau dapat dibantu, kerana kita mahu, bukan kita bagi subsidi untuk mereka balik, itu mesti undi kita. It's up to them to vote who they want to vote. But if it is seen to be an offence, you have to really look into it deeply, because we do not want to commit offence when it comes to election like this. And also, siapa-siapa yang memenangi pilihan raya, termasuk parti di Sarawak, TVS, we would want to win without being tainted.
However, due to time constraint, Karim said the matter is impossible to be implemented in the near future as it requires more time. Hence, the proposal can be considered for the next election.
The Royal Malaysian Police Force PDRM Sarawak contingent has established a special task force to combat fake news that is being spread online during the 15th General Election GE15 period. Sarawak Deputy Commissioner of Police Datuk Manca Atta said the task force was formed to ensure that there will be no form of slander being published via social media amidst the GE15. He spoke after witnessing the handing over of duty ceremony of Sarawak Integrity and Standards Compliance Chief ACP Rosalina Daud from outgoing DSP Tan Sri Mering in Kuching Police Headquarters.
Kita ada menubuhkan ini khas untuk memantau, dan saya tak boleh bercakap banyak.
Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, has been struck by a blast for the second time on Monday, October 17th. According to Andriy Yermak, a staff from the Ukraine president's office, the attacks were carried out using suicide or kamikaze drones, killing at least 3 people in an apartment building during morning rush hour and targeting infrastructure across the country in a second large wave of airstrikes in a week.
Witnesses heard 3 explosions occur in the same district that was struck last week. The Shevchenkivsky district, a busy hub with universities, restaurants, was hit by Russia's drones as a form of retaliation for the attack on a bridge linking the mainland to Crimea. Ukrainian authorities have shown fragments of the drone to journalists where the words for Belgorod were explicitly shown. An anti-aircraft rocket could be seen streaking into the morning sky by Ukrainian soldiers fired into the air, trying to shoot down the drones after blasts rocked in central Kyiv, followed by an explosion and orange flames as residents raced for shelter.
Now, a political party with a clear direction has a better, trustworthy appeal to the people. Parti Pesaka Bumiputera Bersatu PBB Supreme Council member Dato' Abdullah Saidul said promises made by a party should be relevant and compatible with the party's capabilities.
Using the 14th general election as a referral, he added that the people should already know which political leadership to choose. Elaborating further, the welfare of the people, economic recovery and disaster management are of the utmost importance at this time.
Agenda kita sebagai sebuah wilayah Sarawak ini mungkin agak berlainan dengan perjuangan politik pembangunan yang dilakukan di kerajaan di peringkat di Semenanjung Malaysia. Jadi kita sebuah negeri yang besar, parlimen pun hanya 31 kalau dibanding beratus di Semenanjung. Saya rasa kita agenda pembangunan kita lakarkan sendiri dan kita alhamdulillah pemimpin kami di atas pandai mencari peruntukan untuk mengukuhkan kewangan negeri dekat politik, masyarakat dan kebajikan, orang hilang kerja dan sebagainya. Saya rasa sedikit sebanyak kita akan belajar, mendapat rahmat daripada apa yang berlaku semasa melalui pengalaman pandemik ini. Dan dalam pada itu juga kita akan satu coba ataupun test kepada mana-mana kepimpinan yang resilient, yang pandai mengurus kebajikan, yang menguruskan disaster masa itu. Di situlah rakyat akan melihat kepimpinan yang bagaimanakah yang mereka mahu, yang menunjukkan kesungguhan dalam menjaga kebajikan dan kesejahteraan mereka, kesusahan mereka dan sebagainya.
Abdullah said so during a TVS General Election Program Malaysia Decides titled Fulfilling the Aspirations of the People, What Are the Challenges for the Candidates? Adding further, he reminded that the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, has continuously emphasized that there will be no political polemic after the election.
The budget 2023 will be tabled again in the Dewan Rakyat before year end, said Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob. Finance Minister Datuk Sri Tengku Zafrul Tengku Abdul Aziz had tabled the annual federal budget on October 7th, announcing an allocation of 372.3 billion ringgit.
This represented a 40.2 billion ringgit increase compared to the 332.1 billion ringgit allocated for 2022. Meanwhile, about 272.3 billion ringgit was allocated for operational expenditure and 95 billion ringgit for development.
Kita dah umumkan bajet. Macam-macam yang kita nak bagi kepada rakyat ni. Semua kita nak bagi ni. Orang kampung yang paling banyak dapat ni. Tapi kita belum lulus lagi bajet tu. Kita kena bentang dulu. Kita akan bentang sekali lagi. Sebelum akhir tahun kita akan bentang sekali. Jadi kalau orang lain merintah, saya tak jaminlah dapat apa yang dijanjikan. Kalau kita merintah, saya lagi jadi Perdana Menteri, insya-Allah semua bajet yang dibentangkan akan kita luluskan demi kepentingan rakyat.
On October 10th, Ismail Sabri announced the dissolution of Parliament, paving the way for the 15th general election. The Election Commission EC is expected to announce the date for polling day on Thursday. After GE15, the new government will have to retable 7 bills in the Dewan Rakyat, including the Supply Bill 2023, better known as Budget 2023.
Coming up right after the break, the federal government agrees to write off deaths of Felcra participants, and Tehran prison riot death toll increased to 8 right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. This is TVS Nightline. Now, repair works are underway for Beraya Kejapil Road that collapsed on October 9th. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Ahmad Douglas Uga Ambas, gave the assurance to the people that the works will be completed within 10 days and complimented the Works Department JKR for addressing the people's problem efficiently.
Anyway, JKR have undertaken that this should be ready to be possible within 10 days. 10 days. Yeah. And I really hope that it can be done within 10 days. Kalau tidak, ini akan jadi rakyat sini akan susah. Tapi untuk langkah sementara, they are working out motorbike track yang menyambung seberang ke sini supaya yang ada motorbike yang perlu menggunakan ini dapat digunakan. And that will be possible with them getting the security measure also menentukan dia selamat digunakan nanti.
China's border restrictions have not only hampered its own country's tourism industry, but the whole world as a whole, especially Malaysia. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, expressed he hoped that the border to be reopened by next year to boost the tourism arrival for both destinations.
He said this at a press conference after officiating the Malaysia Inbound Chinese Association MICA Holiday campaign and B2B networking at Waterfront Hotel on Monday, October 17th. MICA is a non-government organization that provides a platform to its members pertaining to the inbound tourism industry. To stimulate domestic tourism, MICA launched a campaign Holiday, Family, Friends, Fun and Freebie, which was successfully organized in 7 states, including Sarawak. Also present at the ceremony were Deputy Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Minister, Dato' Sebastian Ting, and the ministry's Permanent Secretary, Dato' Hee Chiang Kee, amongst other delegates.
In the past 2 years, the Sarawak Tribe Legacy Campaign, organized by Business Events Sarawak, or BE Sarawak, has successfully attracted 145 business events. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, said the organized events have generated around 385.5 million ringgit for the economy.
In addition, it has also opened various job opportunities for the people.
From 2020 until today, under the Tribe Legacy Sarawak campaign, Sarawak successfully secured 145 events that is generating a total economic impact of ringgit Malaysia, 385.5 million. Direct delegate expenditure will inject ringgit Malaysia 209.5 million into the economy. Ringgit Malaysia 23.1 million in tax revenue and provide 30,594 jobs to Sarawakians. Well done.
Meanwhile, BE Sarawak Chief Executive Officer Emilia Rosiman said more events will be organized by December.
More than 100 this year, and we are still working on it until end of December. About 40 more events left. Yeah, but in terms of a lot, even for next year, actually, for the convention center and the hotels, it's a bit hard to find a space now because there's a lot of events going on. And
BE Sarawak has organized various events, including the Corporate Social Responsibility Program, Books Build Legacy, which is a program to donate books to make education accessible in rural areas. So far, BE Sarawak has won 5 international marketing awards, including 2 silver awards at the Hollywood Gold Awards and Milan Gold Awards. The Malaysian Department of Meteorology, or Met Malaysia, forecasts continuous rain in western and northern parts of Sarawak, Sabah and Labuan from today until tomorrow, October 18th. According to the department's statement issued at 8:10 a.m. today, areas in Sarawak consist of Bintulu, Subis, Beluru and Marudi and Limbang, while in Sabah it involves interior areas, namely Sipitang, Tenom, Kuala Penyu, Beaufort, Keningau and Tambunan, the West Coast and Kudat. A continuous rain warning is issued when there are signs that rain and thunderstorms are occurring or expected to occur for more than 6 hours in an area. The government has agreed to write off the debt of Felkra Berhad participants and disburse payment amounting to 181.5 million ringgit for its participants. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said he was informed that the Felkra Board of Directors had approved a proposal to request the government to write off the outstanding debts of the Felkra participants, amounting to 233.8 million ringgit for less viable projects. And as of December 2021, a total of 323 projects involving 22,173 hectares have been identified as less viable projects.
Jadi kalau hasilnya kurang, saya faham macam mana nak bayar hutang. Kalau kita potong, lagi susah. Saya dah dirujuk oleh pengurusi Felkra. Saya secara peribadi bersetuju dan saya ingin umumkan pada dasarnya kerajaan bersetuju menghapus kira hutang peserta-peserta Felkra. Ianya akan melibatkan kos sebanyak 233.8 juta ringgit. Walau bagaimanapun, walaupun saya dah bersetuju, tetapi dari segi peraturan, prosedur dia kena bawa ke dalam mesyuarat kabinet untuk kelulusan. Saya dah bincang dengan Menteri KPLB bawa dalam mesyuarat kabinet. Tetapi mesyuarat kabinet tak boleh diadakan sekarang ni kerana kerajaan telah membubarkan parlimen.
In a related news, Felkra Berhad has managed to maintain a good performance when it recorded an increase of almost 51 million ringgit or 38.1% in profit compared to last year's performance. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said this proves the efficiency of the Keluarga Malaysia or Malaysian family government in its governance of the country's economy.
During his speech at a program with Felkra participants, Risda smallholders and the Orang Asli at Arena Merdeka, the Prime Minister announced that a total of 74,949 Felkra participants nationwide will receive the 2022 interim disputable profits amounting to 181.5 million ringgit.
Bayaran akan dibuat secara berperingkat mulai hari ini 17 Oktober 2022 dan boleh digunakan oleh peserta Fakra Berhad untuk kegunaan pelbagai perkara.
Meanwhile, the government has also approved 191 million ringgit in monsoon aid of 600 ringgit each to be distributed this November and December for 232,319 Rista smallholders.
Jadi sebab itulah untuk tahun 2023 kita tambahkan allowance musim tengkujuh 200 bulan selama 4 bulan daripada 600 menjadi 800 ringgit. Jadi kurang-kurangnya boleh membantu sewaktu musim tengkujuh.
Meanwhile, a one-off payment of 1,000 ringgit will be given to each Tok Batin or penghulu of Orang Asli communities nationwide, involving an allocation of 624,000 ringgit. Ismail Sabri added that it was a sign of the Malaysian family government's appreciation for the contributions of Tok Batin and penghulu in the development and preservation of the heritage of the Orang Asli community. Recognizing the importance of the institution, the Prime Minister said that the government has also allocated an allowance amounting to 6.739 million ringgit annually for a total of 624 Tok Batin and penghulu.
Welcome back. Now on to some global updates. 8 prisoners died as a result of a fire at Tehran's Evin prison over the weekend. Iran's judiciary said on Monday, doubling the death toll from a blaze that has increased pressure on the government as it struggles to contain mass protests. Locals march against the traffic in support of inmates, and the prison holds many Iran political and dual national detainees, which have been blacklisted by the United States government in 2018 for serious human rights abuses. And according to an Iran news agency, 8 people were found dead while 61 people were injured during the unrest.
Protesters shouted "Death to Khamenei," referring to the supreme leader of the country. The riot had prompted authorities to block the road connecting to the prison, which is located in the foothills of Tehran. Though at press time, the situation seems to be under control. Smoke continues to appear from the prisons, accompanied by sirens from ambulances near the prisons.
ما نمیخوایم مزاحمشون بشیم. اگه نمیخواستیم باشون صحبت کنیم ببینیم به خانوادهشون اطلاع دادن یا نه. الان کاملا هم داخل نشون بدید آقای بیات نشون بدید از زندانی خواب هستن. دارن استراحت میکنن. ما مزاحمشون نمیشیم. ببخشید. عذر میخوام که بیدارتون کردیم. الان کاملا محیط اینجا آرومه و مشکلی هم.
According to Human Rights Watch, Tehran prison has come under fire for using threats of torture as a means to gather intel from inmates. They were also denied any medical attention.
Wrapping up the Nightline, thousands of people took to the streets in France, not for a singular cause, but more, including the prices of food, climate change, and energy prices. Amongst the protesters were the left-wing leader of France Unbowed, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, and responding to the protest, Gabriel Attal, the country's Minister of Public Action and Accounts, said the left-wing coalition was attempting to exploit the current situation to their advantage.
Moi, je suis là parce que face à l'inflation galopante en France et partout en Europe, il faut que les travailleurs dont je fais partie soient récompensés. Enfin, même si c'est même pas une récompense, c'est qu'ils soient justement rétribués, quoi. Et donc, il faut une hausse des salaires. Il y a les énergies qui explosent, il y a les denrées alimentaires qui explosent. Voilà, on va jamais s'en sortir à ce niveau-là.
Et puis, il y a aussi tout ce qui est climatique, quand même aussi, parce que l'inaction climatique depuis toutes ces années, ça commence à peser et à avoir des conséquences lourdes. On a eu un été terrible et puis ça va continuer et si on fait rien, bah voilà quoi. On a tous les jeunes là qui sont derrière là et ils vont avoir quel avenir tout cela quoi. C'est terrible quoi. Voilà.
The march followed a call by the new Ecological and Social People's Union's parliamentary coalition, which hopes to turn the page on domestic violence accusations that have recently been dodged by senior members. The France government had also ordered the re-questioning of some oil refinery workers, which was seen as a violation to the constitutional rights.
Now, leadership is something that is passed down by practice and experience. And before anyone can be a leader, they would need to be a good follower. And for those who wish to sharpen their leadership skill, especially students, get on the crash course tomorrow on Sejahtera Asia with student leaders Emmanuel, Ronan Charles, and Nur Adiba Muhammad Saiful Azlan, with hosts Wan Alif and Sharon Kazia, 7:45 a.m. only on TVS Astro Channel 122 and MyTV. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates, both locally and internationally, just a click away by heading on to our website at www.tvstv.my or by following us on our social media platforms. And that's all the time we have for tonight's TVS Nightline. Once again, I'm Muhammad Yusuf. Thank you so much for watching and good night.